This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. Let's get to the actual show itself. Meltzer would write in the Observer that this is a unique atmosphere, a pay-per-view feel of a show being held in front of something approximating a house show audience. Most of the sold-out crowd of 7,000 fans at the American Bank Center in Corpus Christi had purchased tickets thinking it was a house show. So instead of adults, ringside, much of the arena was filled with kids. And while it wasn't a 90% plus pro Cena local market house show crowd, it was closer to that than the usual adult male pay-per-view that buys tickets early, travels in, and reacts differently. What do you think of the decision to sort of rush this show to be a pay-per-view? It was only put together 2 weeks ahead of time, and Meltzer would say this is done in an effort to keep people from canceling their WWE Network subscriptions that would run out an hour after the show ended. So if you got some sort of free like trial and you signed up for WrestleMania, they want to make sure that you're going to hang with it and get this pay-per-view too. So you'll keep that subscription going. So you sort of turn a house show into a pay-per-view. I don't think this has ever happened before. Do you recall there ever being a situation where this happened before this?
No, because if you're going to have a pay-per-view, don't you want to have capacity to be available over 7,000 seats?
Yeah.
And when you have a sellout, this is my opinion, has always been my opinion, Conrad, when you sell a place out early, a lot of people go, that's awesome. Oh, that's great. Okay. You're a week out and you're sold out. I look at it as being lost revenue forever.
Yeah.
Because you could have doubled that to 15,000 if you'd had the capacity, if you sold it out a week in advance, because notoriously a lot of people that buy pay-per-view, that's a deal where you wake up Sunday morning, you go, your buddy calls you and says, hey, you want to go play pool or play golf or something? And you go, no, hey, there's a pay-per-view on tonight. You want to come over and I'll call a couple of the buddies and let's buy that thing. And here we go. It's impulse buying.
Right.
I think. And you can get a huge walk up the day of the show. Once they see, they being the audience, that you are in town and they see the trucks with all the pictures of the talent on it, they say, well, hey, they're here. This thing's going down. Let's get a ticket. And I think you probably damaged that brand a little bit by just hot-shotting it and throwing a bunch of names in there that have no story. Mm-hmm. And you know who suffers? The audience suffers and the talent, because you're in this cage that's supposed to be so violent, but you don't have a beef with anybody. And it feels crazy that you go over the top to try to get violent with some guy in some apparatus that you have absolutely no angle with. I think you just water that thing down.
I like your analogy too. I hadn't really heard that before in regards to promoting wrestling, but if it is an almost immediate sellout, you needed a bigger arena. You know, you didn't run it all the way up. And the closest parallel I can come to that with is I see in my business sometimes realtors bragging about, hey, this house sold in 6 hours. Well, what I hear is, well, they underpriced the house. Like you left money on the table, because if there's a feeding frenzy at that price, you probably could have got a little more. This is sort of the same concept with selling out arenas, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, I would rather have a 15,000 capacity and have 1,000 seats or 2,000 seats up in the very, very top that didn't sell, because with the ability on lighting and production and all those things, being able to almost black that completely out like it doesn't exist. That's, if you don't do that and you had that sellout early a week later, I mean, that's revenue lost forever. You'll never go back and get it. It's gone. So, yeah, I mean, it's the same thing as in your business.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.